Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before I begin my questions, I want to again take a moment to highlight the true costs, both for the military and everyday Americans, of the president's illegal war with Iran and summarize how we got here. 13 brave U.S. soldiers have been killed and more than 400 have been wounded. The DoD is now estimating that this war has cost over $29 billion and costing more every single day. The continued closure of the Strait of Hormuz, which somehow caught the president by surprise, is directly contributing to the growing affordability crisis that Americans are facing. And negotiations are at a stalemate, but it's becoming clear this president's plan is to attempt to secure an agreement that looks very similar to the 2015 JCPOA, which my colleague, Senator King, referred to, which this president recklessly tore up in 2018. As you recall, the JCPOA, which was an agreement that also included countries, not just us, it included France, the UK, Germany, China, and Russia. And the JCPOA put limits on Iran's nuclear program with a rigorous inspection and monitoring program run by the IAEA, all of which was tossed out by President Trump. And while that agreement did have a sunset clause, what we should have done was work diplomatically with our allies to extend it. Instead, here we are, engaged in another endless war in the Middle East, no end in sight, that is driving up costs, undermining military readiness, and alienating our allies with neither a clear rationale for starting the conflict, which the president originally said, oh, well, then maybe there'll be regime change, and now he seems to have landed on preventing a nuclear-capable Iran, which was exactly what the JCPOA was intended to do. Admiral Cooper, did the president ever explain to you why he tore up the JCPOA?
Senator, that's a policy matter that I would have expected anyone to discuss
He never
with me.
explained to you why he tore up the JCPOA. He either explained it to you or he
Senator,
didn't. I'm not asking you for the actual conversation, but did he happen to explain to you why he did something which led to the very nuclear crisis that we're now confronting regarding Iran and their enriched uranium?
Senator, I was in a completely different assignment when this occurred 8 years ago.
So apparently the president didn't have a discussion with anybody. In fact, it was a unilateral decision that he made. Now, you have vast experience, Admiral, and the Navy, et cetera. And before we attacked Iran, did it cross your mind that Iran may close the Strait of Hormuz?
Senator, as you know, one of my responsibilities as a combatant commander is to generate a wide range of options with associated risks and opportunities, present those to the Secretary and the President. I think it'd be inappropriate to talk about what those specifically are.
Well, I'm just asking
but
whether
we always make them very comprehensively.
Excuse me. I'm asking whether with your experience, the thought that should we attack Iran, that they would close the Strait of Hormuz, did that cross your mind?
Senator, I've transited
no?
through the Strait about 100 times. I think of the Strait of Hormuz virtually every day.
So is that a yes? That
I
you
think
are very aware that the Strait of Hormuz, the very thing that happened, that is something that you contemplated happening. I hope that is the case because with your experience, I have to conclude that you contemplated that possibility. So you did mention that our diplomats are engaged in the negotiations. Well, who are those diplomats?
Senator, I really would refer to the White House, who specifically is engaged.
Well, apparently the diplomats are Jared Kushner, who I don't think even works for our country, and Mr. Whitlock, Steve Whitlock, who happens to be I don't think he has a lot of experience engaging in these kinds of negotiations. So here we are. The JCPOA, which was a very intense, the results of very intense negotiations among many countries. And for us to act as though the idea of a nuclear Iran is just something that occurred to President Trump and not to his predecessors is pretty ridiculous. And in fact, we had in place a regime that was intended to do that very thing, which was to prevent a nuclear Iran. Mr. Chairman, thank you.